St. Stephen's Cathedral is one of the most recognizable, beautiful, and sacred landmarks in all of Vienna. It adorns the town center with its mighty presence and is an unmissable attraction within the city. Though what lies within the bowels of this gorgeous, holy place may shock you. St. Stephen's Cathedral is the mother church of the Roman Catholic Archdiocese of Vienna and the seat of the Archbishop of Vienna, Christoph Cardinal Schönborn. The current Romanesque and Gothic form of the cathedral, seen today in the Stephansplatz, was largely initiated by Duke Rudolph IV, 1339 to 1365, and stands on the ruins of two earlier churches. The first, a parish church consecrated in 1147, the most important religious building in Vienna. St. Stephen's Cathedral has borne witness to many important events in Habsburg and Austrian history and has, with its multicolored tile roof, become one of the city's most recognizable symbols. It has 256 stairs from the top to the bottom. St. Stephen's Cathedral is the symbol of Vienna and also the very center of the city. At 136 meters in height, it is the tallest church in Austria. St. Stephen's Cathedral is not only Austria's most important Gothic building, the Staffel, as it is affectionately known in Vienna, is much more than that. It is a landmark, a symbol of identity and synonymous with the reconstruction of the Republic after the Second World War. Construction of St. Stephen's Cathedral began in the 12th century and its interior changed repeatedly over the centuries until it was finally given its current Baroque appearance. The tallest of its four towers is the South Tower at 136 meters. The tower room, from which there is a gigantic view across Vienna, is reached via 343 steps. A total of 13 bells hang here. However, the best known of them, the Pomerine, hangs in the 68-meter tall North Tower. It is the second biggest free-swinging chimed church bell in Europe. On the roof of St. Stephen's Cathedral, colorful roof tiles were laid to create the royal and imperial double-headed eagle and the coat of arms of the city of Vienna. St. Stephen's Cathedral also attained a particular reputation due to Vienna's most famous sweet treat. It soars above the brand logo of the pink-red packaging of the Mannerschnitten slices. In addition to valuable altars and side chapels, the impressive cathedral treasure can also be seen, including relics decorated with gold and precious stones, monstrances, liturgical texts and books, as well as vestments. Numerous important people were also given their final resting place in St. Stephen's Cathedral. Emperor Frederick III was buried in an impressive marble sarcophagus. The tomb's cover slab alone weighs 8 tons. Prince Eugene of Savoy has his final resting place in a private chapel. Buried in the catacombs of St. Stephen's Cathedral is Duke Rudolph IV, the founder, who laid the foundation stone for the Gothic reconstruction of the cathedral in 1359. It is also the burial site of many other Habsburgs and Viennese cardinals and archbishops. Below the floor of the St. Stephen's Cathedral exists a series of crypts and even some densely packed catacombs. One of these crypts is known as the Ducal Crypt. It is best known for containing organs of past royals, though their bodies are buried elsewhere. It was customary to remove particular organs and have them kept underneath the cathedral in jars. What's even more disturbing is the lower levels beneath the church. Here lies a series of catacombs, comprised of deep crypts where bodies were once discarded of since the bubonic plague had produced so many deaths. Eventually, this became a problem as the smell of rotting corpses began to waft into Vienna's most holy place. Coffins in the Ducal Crypt. In the Ducal Crypt, located beneath the chancel of St. Stephen's Cathedral, 16 bodies of members of the House of Habsburg are buried along with copper urns containing the viscera, or intestines, of members of the Habsburg dynasty. When Rudolf IV, Duke of Austria 1339 to 1365, commissioned an extension of the previous church, he also ordered a crypt to be built for his remains. After Rudolf IV, the family of the ruling line of Habsburg Dukes of Austria was buried here. However, after the House of Habsburg became a Holy Roman Emperors beginning in 1440, they were buried in various cities as Vienna was not yet the settled seat of the Holy Emperor. After the imperial crypt of the Capuchin Church in Vienna opened in 1633, it became the new burial site of the House of Habsburg. In 1956, the ducal crypt was renovated and redesigned, with the coffins moved into the oval crypt space and niches built into the rectangular crypt space, in which the urns with entrails were placed behind gates. In the middle of Vienna, the dark and imposing St. Stephen's Cathedral draws thousands of tourists to gaze at the grand architecture. But there is something to be seen below as well. Just beneath the stone floors lie the skeletal remains of over 11,000 people. Surprisingly, few visitors opt to enter the crypt. The entrance to the underground tomb is hidden in plain sight, as an innocuous staircase on the left side of the main floor. The vast Stephen's Dome crypt is divided into a number of smaller crypts and catacombs, and is still an active burial spot. The last tenant to move in was Franz Cardinal Koenig, the Archbishop of Vienna, who was laid to rest there in 2004. Most of the bodies of the Habsburg royalty are interred nearby in the imperial crypt on the newer marked square. These rooms stacked with thousands of human bones within the catacombs. Though there are no ghost stories that surround the St. Stephen Cathedral, some do believe it was once haunted by the devil himself. It is also very creepy to tour the lower levels. These catacombs proper lie under the square around the north and east side of the building. They are filled with the bones of some 11,000 people. These were taken from the previous cemeteries at the site after an outbreak of the bubonic plague. The catacombs continued to be used until 1783, when under Joseph II burials within the city were outlawed. When the caverns were full of bodies, prisoners were sent in to perform the gruesome task of removing the bones and stacking them neatly to make space for more bodies. The older crypts, part of the catacombs, those directly under the cathedral, were refurbished and now look rather newer and not all that dark at all, especially those clean whitewashed walls. The catacombs under the square, on the other hand, have been left in raw dark brick. Only a few lights have been installed. So the overall look is a lot darker here. This is the part people in search of a sinister thrill come to see. It may not be on a par with the Paris catacombs, but it sure is an ossuary that is worth seeing when in Vienna.